For over 2,000 years, one name has shaped history more than any other: Jesus Christ. He inspired great works of art, shaped laws, and motivated acts of charity. Yet his life and message remain a source of debate and wonder. The real question is not just whether Jesus existed, but who he truly was. This question has challenged people for centuries, and it still demands an answer today. When we place Jesus alongside other major religious founders and historical figures, his uniqueness becomes strikingly clear. Many great teachers have offered wisdom, ethical codes, paths to enlightenment. Buddha taught a path to escape suffering. Muhammad delivered the Quran as a revelation from God. Confucius provided a framework for social harmony. These are respected figures who have influenced billions. However, none of them made the central claim that Jesus made. They pointed the way to a system, a philosophy, a deity. Jesus, in stark contrast, pointed directly to himself as the destination. He didn't say, "Here is the truth," he said, "I am the truth." This is a fundamental and critical distinction. The most significant piece of evidence that separates Jesus from all others is the resurrection. Many leaders have lived and died, their tombs are known and can be visited, but the followers of Jesus made a world-changing claim that after being publicly executed and buried, Jesus rose from the dead 3 days later. When we talk about love, we often think of the affection between family members, romance between partners, and loyalty between friends. This human love is powerful, but it is also often conditional. We love because we are loved in return. We love those who are like us or who are easy to love. It can be fragile, fading when circumstances change or when the person we love disappoints us. The Bible, however, describes a completely different kind of love when it speaks of Jesus. It describes a divine love, a love that is unconditional, sacrificial, initiated not by our worthiness but by his own character. This is a love that pursues us even when we are running in the opposite direction. The ultimate demonstration of this divine love is the cross. The Apostle Paul wrote that God demonstrates his own love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Think about the logic of that statement. It wasn't after we cleaned up our act or promised to do better that he acted. It was at our worst, in our rebellion and brokenness, that Jesus willingly went to the cross. We tend to sacrifice for those we deem worthy: our children, our heroes, our friends. Jesus sacrificed himself for his enemies, for the very people who mocked him and nailed him to the cross. This is a love that doesn't make sense from a human perspective. It can only be divine. After examining the evidence, Jesus' unique claims, his resurrection, and his divine love, we arrive at a final crucial point. Jesus is not just someone to be admired like a historical hero or a philosopher. The evidence demands a verdict of trust and worship. To admire him is to keep him at a safe distance, to agree with his teachings without letting them change you. But Jesus didn't call for admirers, he called for followers. He invited people into a relationship of complete trust. This means relying on him not just for wisdom but for salvation itself. This means banking your entire life, your past, your present, and your eternal future, on who he is and what he has done for you. To say that Jesus is all in all means he is completely sufficient for every human need. In a world that tells us we need more success, more possessions, more approval, Jesus offers a radical alternative. He claims to be the living water that will quench our deepest thirst and the bread of life that will satisfy our deepest hunger. The evidence has been presented. Nothing else needs to be added.